is the regroup. If they can make that work successfully, then they're going to be in a really good spot to try and convert into points this match. But they do still have to go for that regroup. And with teams like Regnum Kaya and your North, I mean, even though they are down in 12th place, right, they still have got some firepower to them. And we'll see just what they're able to do on that position out to the south of the Yas Fields.
Alpha 7 still playing on that northwest side right now, alongside with R8. Both teams, you know, neck and neck right now. A lot of times neck and neck in terms of the drop spots as well on the map. So finding some equal success on that side of things. It is kind of funny, like two teams that drop so close to one another multiple times with many similar rotations have ended up 2 points apart on the tables.
Yeah, it is really not ideal to be rotating directly next to your table competitor. It just adds to the nerves. I mean, logistically, it's the same as rotating next to another team, but it's got to feel a little bit more nerve-wracking when you know that one misstep on your part gives them points, takes your
भाई मैं थोड़ा पीछे चल रहा हूँ यार, क्योंकि मुझे मैच भी देखना है और वो भी करना है। तो यार मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ अब बताओ?
I think that when we look back on what the desk had to say, I think it's very, very clear.
अरे तोरा माय का भतार।
These teams in 6th and 7th place are saying they're the most interchangeable. It's purely because of the tendencies that they've brought to the table throughout the entirety of this tournament. And DRX, like you say, inconsistent. I would say Wolves is similar on that boat of inconsistent. Yes, they've put up big points here and there.
Oh भाई।
Did come through from Rondo just today.
DRX 7 पे आ गई भाई। DX 8 पे आ गई। OG 9 पे। ULF 77 10 पे।
Punching up those points every single game, right? There is a little bit here and there. They are consistently getting those numbers on the board. For DRX, it has felt like a bit of a struggle. For Wolves, it's felt like a bit of a struggle, right? Sometimes the pickaxe is just flinging off the rock and stone that they're trying to break through. Whereas for R8 and Alpha 7, you know, there's steady hands. There's steady hands there.
It's time-tested. Nerves. You'd hope of steel. You'll actually cut across Doran. Oh my goodness me. That's got to feel pretty nasty for the Wolves. In 6th place, 91 points, more secure of the two volatility teams.
First blood.
Losing a player that early to APG is not going to feel good. And they'll have to learn to deal with it, unfortunately, because there's nothing really they can do about it.
No, and I mean, that's the second time in a row now we've seen here on Erangel. The Wolves lose one player super early in the match. Again, though, that's silenced and a 3xM4. At that distance, a bit of a bucking bronco in terms of a weapon. The fact that he hits those shots so cleanly is again a testament to Zol's experience in the game over the multiple years, and multiple achievements he's been able to garner. Yeah, well played. But for Wolves, that's got to stop. I mean, it's the same. It's the same rotate again. It's the same positioning over towards gas station. You can't have that keep happening, especially if they want to stay in top 7.
Next circle coming on through in a couple of seconds as well, as our teams have moved central, but it just sends all the way back to the west side. We're looking to go to a not dissimilar part of the map, but around that east edge of Potato Hill, on those divots that currently we just saw Ulf taking up one of them right around that road junction, is going to be a major feature moving forwards of this game. And Virtus Pro, probably one of the slower teams to be able to make it in. They're further away than most. We'll see what they can do. DRX, they were pretty quick on the trigger here, and actually they're happy to play all the way down south on this building.
You kind of want to take both sides of this, though, and I think DRX has enough time to do it in. So they are confirming on both positions, but the anchor point has been found. No players there, so DRX is like, well, sure, I guess we'll pick this up.
DRX से fight हो रही क्या?
North side though, who are trying to clear a similar area. You see Aru running
DRX पूरी आ गई भाई.
Very close to him, but the shots aren't ringing out just yet.
आतंकी फाइट ले रहा है क्या? अरे माँ, ये क्या है भाई?
I mean, not going to be able to do more than just send them down into the bunkers. Not for the time being. Regnum Kaya, this is a nice dip for them. I mean, Ulf were sort of holed up in this area, but they've moved on further south, away from here, across the road. They've managed to find a little bit of a stronghold there. Sorry, not quite across the road, just a little bit short of it. A little bit further up in their next dip.
I mean, playing dip here is okay, right? It's a position to work with. It's slightly open. You will need smokes at some point, but at stage 2 of the game, absolutely fair place to play for Regnum Kaya. Gives them options going into the late game. And again, there's not a fantastical amount of insanely strong areas to play towards the center of this circle. So I think for Regnum Kaya, like, that is a good spot to be working with going forward. They just hope they don't have a GK situation from the last game where they get rolled upon and just absolutely smoked. But in the meantime, I think most teams will be waiting for stage 3 to pop on this one. It does move away from shelter, so we are towards those winding roads. GK currently just playing it safe on that north side. Thunder Talk coming out from Yasnaya on that early end of things. I think that has been a bit of a problem for Thunder Talk over to today's games and maybe even yesterday. Is a little bit of a slower approach on this north side. A lot of times they stop off in South Yaz for a long time, and I think they're realizing it's not working anymore, so they push out much earlier across the fields.
I mean, the thing that we praised Thunder Talk for at the end of day 1 and towards the start of day 2 as well is that coordinated play. Their basics, their fundamentals were just better than everyone else in the lobby at that point. When you talk about team play, it seems like a few other teams have caught up, and at the moment they are flagging. So corrections now necessary for Thunder Talk. So it's good to see that they are making those adjustments, not just resting on their laurels, and moving in to try and make sure that they fully deserve their spot in the finals, which they are almost guaranteed to find here. Alpha 7 all the way out on the east still, just about skirting prison. Regnum Kaya actually making a move further up here. They don't want to stay in that dip. They want to get a little bit further down.
Yeah, I mean, being on that low ground now isn't effective. It was good as a stop-off point, and if the circle moved over towards the northeast side, fantastic. But at this point in time, you're quite close to the circle anyway. You should have had some scouting available to you, so they're just going to rotate during that time to get into a better spot here. Annoyingly for a lot of teams, that lovely compound that sits to the western hillside of Farm is cut out. So teams can't really play off the back of that one. E-Arena, though, is going to take control of Potato Hill, and Regnum Kaya is going to sit just underneath it.
Silas looks for the spray towards Prestige. Doesn't connect, but we'll give the info away. DRX playing close by as well on the entrance that we saw them being able to get to before. Nade over the top. Continue to bobble on in. Damage just ticking away on both of these teams, but no blood being spilt just yet. As Regnum Kaya seem to be solidifying now in their hold.
You get to a point here where I feel like both teams, you don't really want to fight each other all that much. I mean, there's no reason to, because DRX doesn't want to give up that position. Regnum Kaya doesn't want to give up theirs either. Both are relatively safe. Obviously, Regnum Kaya is slightly more painful to play because it's a bit more open and DRX is going to have to expend smokes. But this is definitely a case of a bit of a more neighborly love from both squads.
Certainly might be favorable. The question is, will they be able to bear that pressure? Loxy flexing out wide in the middle of the circle for Regnum Kaya. As Alpha 7, they drew short onto one of the entrances to shelter. OG was surrounding it before. They divert, they want to get into the circle, and they will line that edge, trying to stop Alpha 7 from going through, but they will thrust the tip of the spear. Revo moves on in now. WizGod and Atanki have to hold strong. They're playing around the hill, around the mouth here. The nades are good. WizGod, have they spotted him?
Oh, nice yaar, WizGod. Arey nahi. Come on, come on. Kill them all for our country, man. Oh, nice yaar. नेड कर रहा है एके, वो नेड कर रहा है. ले ले मेरी जान, ले ले भाई, ले ले एके भाई. एक और नेड कुक किया उसने. नहीं यार, नहीं बचेगा एके, नहीं बचेगा. क्या नॉक हो गया यार.
GS should be able to finish this up. Already they're sending a player out to try and survive longer inside the zone, but quickly cut off in the meantime. So they are locked in now versus GS. But it's only 2 players right now from GS that are playing this position, hoping to just hold these players out. I don't know why Amir pulled off that spot. He just saw a player.
You're trying to send on through and actually might be able to make it now, but it will send over towards Kara and Virtus Pro as well. I don't think that he's going to be able to make that one work. He sends up two players from Virtus Pro hop out and down Alpha 7 fall. 5th place, 103.
बढ़िया चल
I mean,
3 बचे 3 किल लिए 3 किल निकाले बढ़िया बढ़िया
16th place, 0 elims. A fight with OG that they lose there is not going to be a sweet taste on the tongue.
No, I mean, that's a team that hasn't quite made it yet. I mean, 103 is great, but is it super secure? No.
लीग भी खत्म
Against Geeke, a fairly consistent squad wipe, but not before E-Arena.
चाइना खत्म हो गया क्या चाइना का एक डाउन है
The gladiators do arrive. Tony K back in the hovercraft, looking to move away.
क्या रश डालेंगे ये वाले या फिर वो जोन जाएंगे
Only 2 players left now for the team. E-Arena able to profit a little bit off the back of that one with 2 points.
I think the major profit that they'll find is actually the
जोन निकल गए
teams in their area anymore. They can move along Potato Hill, move a little bit closer towards Regnum Kaya and really take control of this western side of the circle. The rotation after may be a little bit trickier. With R8 to the north, with Wolves to the south, Regnum Kaya to the front, it's not too many options from that point onwards.
Yes, taking down OG as they attempt to make their way through. Alpha 7 really slowed them down there. And for OG, it looks like they are just ticking away. They still have one final player up, but it's between him, Kara, Virtus Pro, as well as GS. It's very unlikely that he makes his way out of the blue here.
हेलो हेलो हाँ हमारा ठीक और पैसा है कुछ
They're able to handle Alpha 7, but GS really playing spoiler to the approach on the northern edge, and GS will make out over towards DX. And now in the crash goes Jafar sending straight to the middle.
अबे ओजी के 2 डाउन हो गए
No threat now.
यार
Front fight. The nade finds Amir as well, and
ये क्या था भाई लेविस
as Levi's turns the corner and GS are sent spinning here as they try and approach the Xavier's hold. The Xavier we being able to hold super strong, but maybe that's going to change. Hang on a minute.
Nice.
Ooh, I might have to eat my words because there's already a lot of danger being felt. One player gets knocked and flushed there. The Xavier losing 1, but they do stay alive.
I mean, you hold versus the push. That means a lot less players on this northeast side for you. Mad Bulls just finished an engagement and now looking to push down as well. I think they must have heard this, so they are instantly trying to get players back up and healthy so they could try and capitalize off the back of an engagement that just
लग रहा है जोन से
player that only just
भाई यार इनके पास नहीं रहती क्या हेल्थ किट वगैरह यार
off in the distance. Nade's been sent down from Ulf as well as APG towards VP's position. It was a spot that can be played, but it's also a spot that both teams from APG as well as Ulf understood that likely teams are going to go for.
Oh dear, that nade, the double knock there coming through from the Mad Bulls, leaving just the 1 player now for DX Xavier on the ground floor. Third party, maybe. Shots sent in across the way. Is that R8? Is that Ulf? I'm not entirely sure, but they've already done so much work. It's just Lamborn now for DX Xavier on the inside. R8 a close by. Amori has moved into position on that north flank. Look at how much he wants to get stuck into this fight. Maybe take a player down, maybe give themselves an opening, because R8 do still have to move.
I mean, R8 could have an equally similar rotate to Mad Bulls here. I think the difficulty for them is Mad Bulls really hasn't taken too much damage off the back of this. Get the res up over towards Paragin, and Mad Bulls just lets it happen. Still 3 nades to work with. 2 nade goes over towards the top window. Paragin's able to dodge that one, so he's able to get that first aid kit off, which is pretty massive for them, getting 2 players back into the fight. But Lemon once again so good with the nades.
Lamborn has got 2 more still to play with. Nade out through the door, looks for the challenge. He's going to hold his nerve though, not go for the peak. It's Scarface though, who spots him. Does not allow the exit, and that is DX Xavier with 3 right now. That's great news for the teams looking to try and chase up towards it. Feel like Regnum Kaya may be on for a bit of a mad one here if they can capitalize on the west side position. Push up with Amori though, knocking on the door, and Mad Bulls now have another challenge.
Yeah, for R8 is a much more difficult fight in terms of the health pools available to Mad Bulls, but already done a hell of a lot of damage. They need to keep these nades coming so those first aid kits can't keep being applied to the player.
Oh, खुद पे नेट बोल लिया उसने.
This is good chip damage so far from R8. Just wondering when they're going to pull the trigger on this one. There's no more third parties in this area. It's been a constant fight for this location.
Yeah, Kara approaching to the rest of Ulf drew Scarface away, so they are now fighting on that south side, which means you're right, this is going to be a fairly clean fight. Unless that fight on the south side concludes, you can see off in the distance, then things could get a little bit more messy, but have to wait for the time being. Marth still on that off angle on the outside. Lemon knows exactly what he's playing up against. He's not really able to do too much about it right now.
Flip, take shots of Scarface again. God, this guy is frustrating.
Flip knock है.
Insanely good when it comes to those long range shots, and even more shots going down.
भाई ये थर्ड पार्टी मारने वाला है, मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है.
These teams are battered and bruised by the time they leave this building. Right now, R8 definitely has the advantage because they're playing with a 3-story at their backside as well. So
भाई गाड़ी के पीछे है, उसको पता नहीं है, उसको पता नहीं है गाड़ी के पीछे लेमन बैठा है. वो मारा उसने, क्या मारा? वो भाई इसने स्पॉट कर लिया उसे.
Sidelines finds a great shot towards Mad Bulls there, opening up the doorways for the rest of R8 to start flowing through. This isn't before Scarface once again tells Marth that you can't be stepping out on the outside.
There's a big fight happening on the west side as well, Blank, in the picture-in-picture. It's Regnum Kaya fending off the push from the arena. It looked like Regnum Kaya might have a good time of it, but tried to lose a player or two. Pusher on the inside here now.
ना मुन्ना ना, इसे नहीं होता है.
Cook up a meal, but it's not going to happen. It's cold as a bone. And R8 will be taken.
अब यूएलएफ वालों को थर्ड पार्टी मारना चाहिए भाई.
They have to suffer, but that's Scarface is doing. In the meantime, Regnum Kaya able to survive just a little bit longer, but they need a res. They need something else to happen as the Wolves are starting to push on up and fight against DRX on their south border.
Again, this is good for the Wolves. They needed another strong game here. They couldn't keep just getting those small ones and then hope for a big game to come in the future. Getting those placement points would be very nice. They start to push over towards DRX. The lovely shot from QXZ will pin them down for the time being. An APG off in the distance as well is an ever-looming threat for the Wolves.
Regnum Kaya have managed to get themselves back up now. They could peek in here. The off angle, the outpost for DRX is their end goal, but Kikes out in the open, but they've got to deal with troops first. They'll do it. They'll look for more as well, and they will find everything they're looking for. The Wolves start to fall, and they will continue to tumble. 7th place, no elims there.
ओ नेट क्या कनेक्शन बनाएगा? ओ आरजी ने थर्ड पार्टी कर दी, 2 नॉक डाल दिए भाई. क्या ये टीम अब जाएगी? मेरे को लग रहा है खत्म है भाई. पड़ रहा है एपीजी. ओ क्या नॉक डाला भाई. लास्ट में उसका हेड कनेक्ट हो गया भाई.
Shots there, the quick resets time and time again. I think Regnum Kaya didn't realize what was hitting him. I'll be calling hacks at that point, to be honest with you. But Regnum Kaya will get to play on as two.
Kara eliminated as well in the meantime on the south.
Kara भी eliminate हो गए भाई. 135 लेके भाई टॉप पे बैठी है भाई.
The fact that the Wolves are down,
Alpha 7 भी डाउन है, वोल भी डाउन है. R8 के पास चांस है भाई. R8 ने कितने किल्स निकाले थे? 3 किल्स निकाल लिए. अगर R8 और 5 किल निकाल सकते हैं, 5 किल निकाल के चिकन मारते तो इनके पॉइंट्स होते हैं 18 और 5 23 पॉइंट. 23 पॉइंट लेके थर्ड नंबर पे आ जाएगी. मैड को पीछे कर देगी R8, ठीक है. बट R8 के 2 बंदे खत्म है, एक डाउन होने वाला ही था लग रहा है. भाई DRX के दोनों बंदे 1-1 HP है. हेल्थ किट नहीं है क्या इनके पास? फिनिश डालने की कोशिश पूरी, लेकिन फिनिश नहीं हो पाएगा. क्या वो गाड़ी फोड़ के उनका फिनिश निकाल पाएंगे या फिर उससे पहले जोन में मर जाएंगे? देखना पड़ेगा. नहीं, लूट की कमी के कारण यहाँ पे
Again, for APG there, Doc gets shot at by Aaron on that angle.
ड्यूल पे नेट की बारिश हो रही है. यूएलएफ वाले ने क्या जोल का ये नेट कुछ कर पाएगा? कुछ नहीं। नेट बुक किया गया है यहाँ पे। क्या ये नेट कुछ? ना भाई ना।
just frustrating to watch that. I mean, we just talked about it. But now APG down to just 3 players.
वो नेट भाई फटा, बट वो पेड़ के उधर फटा।
Could he go a little bit further beyond? But it is Ulf who's controlling
Refuse.
along with the Shack. Ulf looking to jump.
ओ एचपी तो डाउन हुई है। बैंडेजेस लगाए जा रहे हैं। क्या एक और नेट बुक किया जाएगा? जी नहीं, अब लगता है नेट नहीं है। क्या डॉग उनको कवर दे पाएंगे वहां से? क्योंकि वो भाई बंदों के पास रीच का पूरा सपोर्ट है। आरएट का आई थिंक लास्ट बंदा बचा है। नहीं, लास्ट 2 बचे। डीआरएक्स का सिर्फ एक बंदा है। भाई इतनी भसड़ मची है, इनको ड्रॉप लूटने जाना है। क्या बोलूं मैं अब? ओ डाउन डाउन, डीआरएक्स का लास्ट प्लेयर है भाई। क्या ये डाउन होगा? एपीजी का एक बंदा डाउन है भाई। 1 एचपी, लिटरली 1 एचपी है। खत्म भाई, डीआरएक्स गई 3 एलिमिनेशंस के साथ। डीआरएक्स R8 यूएलएफ के पास मैन पावर ज्यादा है और R8 के पास भाई R8 जोन का सेंटर पकड़ रही है। ये नेट कुछ काम करेगा? जी हाँ, एपीजी जोल डाउन होते हुए R8 ने एक बंदा जोल का नॉक डाल दिया है। क्या डॉग के द्वारा वहां पे उन्हें बचाया जाएगा या फिर R8 वालों को यहाँ पे 2 किल्स मिलेंगे? भाई यूएलएफ ने किल निकाल लिया। किल चोरी हो गई और ये भाई एपीजी डॉग भी डाउन कर दिए गए हैं। इसकी के साथ एपीजी की टीम का एलिमिनेशन कंप्लीट होता हुआ और 15 एलिमिनेशंस के साथ रैम्पेज। बाप रे बाप, एपीजी ने 15 फिनिशेस निकाले भाई।
Incredible resurgence for Ulf in the 2 big games that they've had today, and it just goes to show you how close these tables have always been. In every
I think the best thing about it is just watching Ulf play there.
3v2 का पूरा सिचुएशन है यहाँ पे। क्या R8 वाले यहाँ पे कुछ निकाल पाएंगे?
One-on-one fights with some of the best players in the squad. And Scarface on those incredibly long angles, causing casualties towards teams that might have assaulted them later in the game. It's just nice to see Ulf find.
नेड पे नेड हो रहे हैं, गाड़ियां घुमाई जा रही हैं, पोजीशंस बनाई जा रही हैं। वो एक डाउन कर दिया गया R8 टामूरी के द्वारा। 2v2 की सिचुएशन है भाई। 2 बंदे गाड़ी में बैठ के। क्या ये नो एक और? क्या बात है भाई, लास्ट बंदा इनका बचा है। भाई क्या सीन हो गया भाई। भाई पहले यूएलएफ मैन पावर में ज्यादा थी, बट अब व्हाट द हेल मैन। भाई वो लोग कुछ ज्यादा एग्रेसिव हो गए थे। कवर टू कवर लेना, कवर टू कवर। ओ माँ भाई क्या चिकन निकाला इन्होंने। R8 यार, जीजी यार R8। भाई एग्रेशन तो है भाई, होना ही चाहिए भाई। उन बंदों ने इनको हल्के में ले लिया था भाई, बंदों ने हल्के में ले लिया था।
lot of points, but it's not the 27-point game they were going for. They lost out on 2 elims as well off the back of that, so it's even worse for wear. Far right, though, a game that would see them sort of safe, now sees them very safe.
They are going to feel pretty good about that one. A 6-point swing.
नाइस यार भाई, क्या चिकन निकाला है भाई इन्होंने.
27 down now towards that 21 point, which is not a small game by any stretch of the imagination. Still, it's got to feel a little bit galling coming through from Ulf. They were not able.
GG यार, well done guys.
It was R8 to sneak.
Elimination game on Rondo, and now a 15 elimination game on this last.
Onto Doran, right?
Aslında yaptığımız
didn't think that much for
After that match, but there's a lot of teams here. Finals is if they absolutely throw a terrible performance for the rest of the match. They get a 0-point game in that last one, Max. What do you feel about that?
I was going to say exactly that, actually. We should
चलो भाई मैच स्टार्ट है
Hey, they're looking for a chicken dinner. Now's the time to do it. You're right. If you want to jump up to the top 7, make sure that you've got that direct ticket to the grand final stage. Then it is all about getting these points in here and now, because the number of slots available
ओ भाई
is ever dwindling.
Not many left remaining now for teams to pick up and grab as we head further and further towards the end of the gauntlet.
wanna be yours wanna be yours
Down towards Sosnovka out nice and early, so it's GK as well as APG being able to take advantage of this one. Whereas teams that might drop over towards Primos
ओ भाई
get a decent start.
ड्रॉप क्लैश होगा क्या
Away for the
एपीजी का
but it will
हाँ भाई ड्रॉप क्लैश कर दिया उन्होंने
angle of
वाह
and it is going to be GS dropping on top of APG.
भाई उधर से एक नॉक हो गया
Start though with a knife straight over towards GS.
Tweet the shoulder blades on that one. Looking to reload the VSS there. It's the only weapon you got. It's what you got.
जीएस के 2 डाउन है
Pan as well, but turn in the corner.
3 खत्म भी हो गए भाई
For APG, it's all up to Jafar to see what he could do, and he is quite far away from the rest of the team. He's got the M4, sure, but he's also got
लास्ट बंदा बचा है
APG to deal with. The question is,
अब क्या फायदा क्या हो रहा है भाई तुमको फॉल बैक डाल के
See on the cams. They are leaving it up to him. A little bit of a worry that that's how the game starts. Of course, you can't get yourself back up now. And they want to hunt Jafar down. I think they know vaguely the direction he's playing, but I don't think they have the full bead on him.
थोड़ा लूट लेते
How many, or if any, can he pick up? If he can get those shots from the side angle. He's not there. Don't worry, guys.
भाई इनको नहीं मालूम वो कहाँ चला गया
Not the player you want to be leaving left alive here. It's Jafar. Clutch Maestro himself, but no shotgun in hand, so he's just going to dip off the back of this one. But for APG, what a start for them. This fight has been going back and forth for quite a while. For an opener like that, it is incredible to see. Oh, DBS. Yeah, just DBS and an F4. It's an insane loadout. Never mind. I lied.
No vest, though.
M4 DPS भाई क्या बात है वेस्ट नहीं है इसके पास
Which is perfect, right? Because APG only
वेस्ट नहीं है इसके पास
so technically
एक नेड भी है
the
एक स्मोक है
Ah,
5 बैंडेज है बस और कुछ नहीं है
oh, for sure. That's 100% correct. 3 points for APG, though. If they wanted to make a resurgence, that's a great way to start. They've managed
APG
to
APG 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 APG
they would
3
like
पॉइंट
to
ले गया
get
APG
that fourth and remove that thorn from the side and not worry anymore, because you've got to think he's in the hills somewhere.
इंडिया तो में
He's
इसमें
like,
चिकन मारना ही होगा मेरे
it'll
भाई
slow you down quite a
Come on,
bit.
guys.
The circle being on the main
Please,
road
यार
to the west side, we did see that pop
में
during
चिकन
the fight.
अगले में भी चिकन इसके अगले में भी
You're gonna
चिकन
have to get on the road fairly quickly. You've got to be worried that it's not going to go your way if you can't move fast enough.
Yeah, and even so, I think
wanna be yours wanna be yours
15-point
wanna be
yours.
yours
That's that conservative estimate. So that's 15 points this match, next match, and the match after that. So again, for just to set some expectations here.
ओजी 10 पे आ गया भाई पहले और दूसरे दिन टॉप 4 पे था टॉप 7 टॉप 4
points required to be gained over the next few matches. The Western shift on the circle, though, OG has a similar rotational path what they had before. His team performance coming through.
भाई यूएलएफ का अपार्टमेंट है
Place in day 2, coming into
अपार्टमेंट का ड्रॉप
in day 3 with an unbelievable performance over just game 1 and game 3. A lot of points accrued here, and again, like I said before, getting more into the rhythm of it, which is nice to see.
Certainly is. And if you had to pick 2 Turkish teams, as I was talking about in that last match, to go
Alpha
through in the
7.
top 7, it's very few people, I think, around the world that would have not put Regnum Kaya as one of those 2 teams, right? They're down in 11th place. You were talking about DXavier and OG having maybe an outside chance here. For Regnum Kaya, it's, again, just not quite...
चांस तो है गाइस अपना समझ रहे हो चांस तो है अपना
It is a bit of a misstep, and you were talking before about the
देखो
lack of synergy.
ये किया इन्होंने
Yeah, well, I think that they don't play
चक्कू से ही नॉक डाल दिया था
lack of synergy, and like I said,
लो
more of a lack of delegation, because I do think that Zed Wolf is sort of wasted right now on the team, where they're having him play as a backstop or anchor for the squad, and I just don't think that's his play style. And there was a moment PMSL EU where they were using him a lot more of this off-angle player, someone who kind of is the crowbar for the team, breaking open a lot of these plays, and that worked extremely well. And I think you just got to trust him because he has solo carried teams in the past. It's just I think it must be weird for him playing on a
चाइना अभी भी सेकंड पोजीशन पे है भाई.
where you're still trying to figure out what's your place in the squad. And it also isn't really on the other players to decide that for him.
Kara making their way on that
Wanna
side.
be yours, wanna be
They're the top
yours.
dogs of the lobby right now, and it's not looking super likely to change, although there are teams knocking down the door. However, they have done enough. They've done plenty in order to get into the top spots there. You can see that 135, there's no way they drop down below 7th place towards the end of the day here. Kara will be seen in those finals along with Thundertalk and RA. They are pretty
What?
NASDUL's pretty
तेजी ने स्पॉट किया क्या वो उतारेगा?
very likely teams to be seen in the finals, but at 150
वो उतार दिया उसने.
that's going to be enough.
Ooh,
उसको भी उतार दिया. नहीं 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 फिनिश डाला.
We're gonna take a little recap.
सीईओ को पूरा डाल दिया भाई. उसका गलत जगह पे उसका फ्यूल खत्म हुआ भाई.
Welcome back to a quick report with the 7WG. This time it's about RA. This squad was just pretty much able to secure their ticket.
7WG बोल रहा है, 7WG
I
नहीं.
was talking with Ida and I asked him if you're in a comfortable position where you can actually hunt down a squad, are you going to do it? And he looked around and he said yes. He didn't want to specify which team it was though. So John and Blank, can we take any guesses? Maybe DRX? Maybe Alpha 7? I don't know because there's a lot of teams trying to make it to top 7 and it's very tight in that department.
I mean, it is all really to play for there in terms of guesses. I mean, at the moment, I think Alpha 7 seem to be fairly safe. 103 with 3 matches to play. You expect them to be able to get 7 points over the rest of the day and could potentially stretch all the way out, getting up to that 120 mark, right? I think the volatility really sits in the 2 teams beneath them, from 6th place down to 10th, and then an outside chance of down to 12th. Below that, nah, I'm not backing it.
No, I think for R8 targeted plays, you probably would want to target Alpha 7, right? Because they share a lot of your rotational paths. But you're also definitely correct in terms of it's a team that's hard to push out at this point in time, right? Especially this being the last Erangel, we didn't see too much aggression from R8 their way. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. Maybe they'll bring out something special on our next match.
Could be a Miramar special over on the desert. Of course, we haven't seen our 2 Miramars at the end of the day, and things do change in terms of dynamics there. We'll have to wait a little bit. Kara losing 2 players in opening salvo on the match.
यूएलएफ वाले फिर पीछे पड़ गए.
OG moving past.
ला एक ही बंदा है भाई, ले लो ना उनको.
Been on a tear today.
नहीं नहीं पूरी टीम है.
Dangerous territory. Circles shift as well, Black. This is nasty over to the west side of Everest, over towards Hospital, and this is going to get messy over towards it. The nurses are going to have to work overtime.
Well, I mean, for RA, it's wonderful. From starting in South George to move down towards this area of the map, a really easy game.
R8 ने फिर वो पे भाई फिनिश डालेगा वो पूरा.
Third time in a row, so inexcusable at this point.
Finish डाल दिया.
Losing a player in the first 10 minutes of the game. Amori will find Igors. Yeah, it's just, it's not great. And for Wolves prospects to get into the top 7.
भाई ये बहुत गंदा उतारा भाई उसने.
Dashed a little bit here. These are initial shots from Thundertalk at some incredible.
बहुत गंदा उतारा भाई.
I mean, sure, why not? Show us what you're made of. Show us what you got. There's a reason they are towards the top of the tables. Oh dear, OG, they've taken a lick on that east side. That approach to the foothills of Everest, not going to go under.
भाई एक डाउन हो गया ओजी का.
Already crunched in.
भाई कैसे?
Move here into stage 2. The second circle pops up. Wolves diverting out to the west. Irina trying to take shots, but the beachheads just getting in the way. The reload's not quite there in time, and the Wolves draw up on the west side. In a couple of buildings, difficult to leave, but they're very isolated from every other team right now.
Yeah, West Coast's not a terrible place to play for them. at the moment gives them some options in the future, but the main thing is safety because they want the
भाई
decision
लास्ट
maker
2
more than
गेम्स नहीं
anything else
देखूंगा
going
भाई,
on. Because this was a
मेरे
circle
से नहीं हो
that
पाएगा
was
भाई.
moving in from that eastern side, they know that playing on the very west is probably the safest place to be because the traffic jams are going to be on that eastern edge. APG rotating from the south side. For OG, it's been difficult because they are a team that starts towards the east, and we've had a lot of western circles today.
लो भैया ड्रॉप लूटना जरूरी है.
Much more focused over on that part of the map, you're right. A new ground in the lobby.
MK उठा रही है
The
साले.
areas to the south of Georgia Pole. Just peeking over towards that swamp area as well, right on the south edge. We'll see where we end up. Mad Bulls atop the mountain right
Wanna
now.
be you, wanna be you.
And they are the only team chasing up the slopes. Everyone else playing around.
ड्रोन के बाहर है ये. GS जाफर. भाई साहब ये क्या बचा था.
GS. Too far. Doing his best.
भाई बंदा क्या ही बचा था भाई.
Sosnovka, so I don't think his best is going to be good enough to get up towards the top side. But APG cut clean with all 4 players up. Looking over towards OG, who are leaving from Gakka to head towards the.
अरे जल्दी टीम के पास जा यार.
Which is actually not a terrible spot.
भाई टीटी से फिर फाइट हो गई क्या इनकी?
This east side circle shift though over towards Everest. I feel like this is gonna give Mad Bulls some neighbours. Virtus Pro on the move now behind Ulf as oh dear, that's not where you want to be drawing short. Can't pass.
ओ नॉक डाल दिया भाई.
Take flight once more. Milky Way though spotted first.
दूसरा भी डाउन है.
To get the shutdown. Lost on as well.
ओ भाई.
Ulf really not giving any ground. Malloy the only one to strike back so far, but 2 players
फिनिश डाला उसने.
off against them.
नेड बुक किया है, नेड बुक किया है. खत्म होगा हाँ. भाई इससे अच्छा नेड कर देता.
I mean, 4 elims is great for Ulf, honestly. It does the trick, and it'll be. They just need a little bit more right on the game now. Even over the next 2 matches, they need probably like a 4 or 5 point average to see themselves safe. This is a wild rotate from the Wolves, by the way, getting over towards this eastern shack. It's not very safe whatsoever, but it is playable. It's very much a survival type maneuver, though.
Yeah, it's a get as far as you can type situation. Geeke on the west coast, they need to move up north or east or anywhere really, but the open field to the northwest of Gatka, where we saw Ulf start to post up and win that fight just now. I mean, that's so open. It's so difficult to move there. And the arena set up to your north and the buildings up that direction. Where do you go at this point?
भाई ये जाफर क्या बचा है भाई?
The question is which one?
चांस ही नहीं था. VP वाइप हो गई है. पहली टीम वाइप हो चुकी है.
Do you swing through the fields, which as you know is going to be a ton of sightlines looking over towards the west side, or do you try and take one of these fights over towards the north? And that's sort of your option. I mean, Wolves massively cut down on their losses there by getting that early rotate in. Making this rotate now would be really quite dangerous. Beefus does find Coops though.
Oh, क्या मारा है भाई?
That's 1 down for Wolves already. Good shots from Aaron over towards Geeke.
I mean, they're having flashbacks to last time on the Erangel open ground where Geeke rolled up on him and Ulf went crumbling. Fortunately, this time they find them at the start and they've established already that line. They're a lot more spread.
OG ने अभी तक एक भी point नहीं निकाला.
To unfold here. Scarface may be in danger here, but the arena actually
डायरेक्ट तो उसको गिरा दिया गया.
make the life a little bit trickier on that southwest side. 3 teams.
भाई ये जोन श्रिंक होते ही पता चलेगा क्या कहते रहेगा. अगर जोन अपने पे आया तो चिकन अपना रहेगा, नहीं तो नहीं रहेगा.
This is a pretty good spot, to be honest.
है जोन अपने पे.
From this area though,
जोन है गाइस.
A little bit more difficult. Mapful's pretty frustrated with the way this one worked out. Their saving grace is that APG is going to be other teams looking their way.
ओ भाई वो जोन से नॉक होगा, जोन से नॉक होगा, जोन से नॉक होगा.
Safji likely to go down get a med off quick enough, and he absolutely does. And that is Geeke out. And 7 elims right now for Ulf. They are going further beyond, which is great to see.
Now they have Arena here, maybe a couple more points.
भाई ये क्या चल रहा है, ये क्या फाइट हो रही है?
As 4, Tony K can't quite connect
वो
with
गाड़ी से ले गया
with the shotgun shut down and catch is next to go.
भाई, क्या भसड़ मच रही है?
Finds two. Now the last player to stand, it's Aaron, the newest addition to the roster here, and Ulf need to rely on him now. But do they just want to get out of there? Try and send the way into the
लास्ट प्लेयर भाग रहा है उनका, भाग रहा है भाई। प्लेसमेंट पॉइंट तो निकालने पड़ेंगे अगर नहीं हो रहे तो। व्हाट द हेल, ठीक है था।
Position. I think I can't believe too far still in the game, but fair enough. Goes down. Yeah, it's a tough spot to play in, especially if you get rocked up on like that. It's one of the few areas in the field.
ये GSEP सब वाइप हो चुकी है।
And have some form of cover to work with.
ULF भी खत्म।
Rocks up over towards APG, but Doc spots that out almost immediately, and will find the flush on that one. So Ulf goes down, but 7 elims in pocket. What are we talking about before? 6, 7. You got the 7 elims on this game. That's all you really need to continue.
भाई ULF ने 7 पॉइंट्स निकाले भाई।
It's a way easier scenario. It's like a 3-point average that they realistically need.
Appreciated भाई।
7. They're looking to try and keep themselves in because Ulf did just leapfrog them up to 105. They haven't got any elims yet, and they're playing from South George on the border. Sure. Oh. Get out from underneath there. Doesn't need an inspection just yet. It's got its MOT already. He's out running over his teammate. Not friendly, not friendly. But on the north side, they do have a difficult approach here up to the ridge lines around Hospital. They could maybe find that mound that sits there, but with
R98 चला रहे भाई।
it's a bit of a silhouette that you're going to make as you try and make your way up there. For Alpha 7, that's tricky.
It's an interesting circle because there are several positions which are very dominant here, where it could hard shift over towards Hospital, Karo's compound on the west.
भाई वो literally एक HP है।
Head over towards Everest, in which case Mad Balls as well as APG have a good time. It could go down towards the south side, in which case Undertalk's compound suddenly becomes very, very strong. There's a lot of different scenarios here that can take place, which drastically change the pace of the game for any one particular team. So we'll wait and see. I really do think it's sort of stage 5, stage 6, which is going to define how this game goes down. It's very different, that scenario we saw from OG, GK, and Alpha 7, where there really wasn't anywhere to play. It was super scrappy, but here on the map, which are very playable.
फ्यूल है कि नहीं? अच्छा, गड्ढे में रोका है उन्होंने।
Question of who's going to be able to control them and how many teams are going to try and control them at once. In these scenarios, getting a little bit of healing on for Alpha 7 before they make their move. Greg and Kai are a little bit happier. Next zone will come through, will really start to cut out some of those points that you talked about before, Blank. In that central position.
DX ने और वोल ने सेंटर पोजीशन होल्ड करी।
Yeah, for DXA, this is massively good for them. Wolves, though, teams are blasting in. It's Alpha 7 will take down 1 in Baton. There's still 2 players alive, I believe, for Wolves, and the shots are coming in thick and fast from across the way as APG tries to put up that 15-point average. But good shots coming back from Coops there. Will shut down at least 1 player from Alpha Gaming.
Ooh, Mad Bulls have angles from the top of Everest as well, over towards Alpha 7. And this is a firing squad over towards that Alpha 7 position. I'm surprised they haven't all gone down already, to be honest, Blank. And at 104, they can't really afford to be losing out here. The number of points that they've been able to approach. It's not going to go well. They're immediately turned away at the door. An APG.
Aru bhi gaya yaar.
Shot to Aru. No, indeed they don't. And up they push. That's going to be done and dusted.
भाई 2 खिलाड़ी चले गए हैं।
Just has to send further in towards the circle, try and find somewhere to stay. And I mean, heading over towards the fielded area is probably a smart decision, considering a lot of teams aren't going to pass through that position anyway. And it's close enough to DXA that he has a little bit of support from them. So it's okay. But Thundertalk continuing to take shots over towards him, trying to see if they can find those angles. Kara right now in between them and Arena.
कारा का मार्कोस बचा है, क्या ये 1v2 निकाल पाएगा? खत्म।
Reluctant to go for the pushes, but they've got 2 nades cooking. Okay, Sakura's Molly able to tag him on, gets the burn down. That is going to be Kara down. But again, they've done enough. They don't need to do any more. Unless they want to.
मेरी नजरें ना भाई पॉइंट टेबल पे टिकी हुई है, ओजी का लास्ट बंदा बचा। इसके बाद सिर्फ 2 मैच रह जाते हैं भाई।
the Mad Bulls really haven't profited.
और हमने इस मैच में और पिछले मैच में एक भी पॉइंट नहीं लिए है. पिछले मैच में 3 पॉइंट लिए थे, इसमें एक भी नहीं लिया है.
Yeah, it's given them some place to stay though, which is the main thing. I think
Matt Tulaka
would have struggled if not for that. This descent, like you say, came a little bit too late. I think
कौन बचा है यार? आरू बचा है, एकेओपी बचा है. ओ भाई साहब, ये क्या भसड़ मच गई है. ये 3 पॉइंट भी जाएंगे.
And there is some support coming through.
Oh, I think there's another flush coming on in. Alpha 7, I think, busted down to just the one player. Thunder Talk, by the way, flexed out. They've gone up the side of Everest. They want a piece of this fight. They want to try and...
Thunder Talk ने 4 किल निकाले भाई.
We'll see if they're able to do it.
12 भी पूरी एलिमिनेट हो गई 0 पॉइंट के साथ. एक डाउन किया गया उनका.
Should still be enough to keep them ticking over. We'll see what more they can do. The Wolves, who are behind, still on 2 players. Not quite close enough to be worrisome right now. Another shutdown over towards APG in the meantime, though, as DRX are starting to mount their bid for that 7th place spot. With the Wolves falling by the wayside, this is their opportunity.
आतंकी बचा है.
This is DRX's game to get it done right and lock in another one of those positions. They're able to get a chicken dinner on this match. It's done, so they will lock in that position. Unfortunately for them, the circle moves out towards that western side, giving a lot of opportunity for more points for DX Xavier, another team on the chase. So we could be locking things in really early here, John. It depends how well this
क्या वो बग्गी से उतार पाएगा?
exit is for DRX.
वो उतार दिया. भाई इनको भी पड़ रही है, इनको भी पड़ रही है. नॉक डाल दिया. नहीं बच गया.
Yeah, I think for Thunder Talk, it was a very smart decision to push up the hillside here because they had a massive amount of cover to work with. Right now, looking to get ahead.
वोल ने बहुत देर से पोजीशन होल्ड करके रखी थी. एटलीस्ट होना ही था भाई.
Will push RA even further up the tables. DRX send in, but it's just one player and he will be taken out fairly short in order. That's so easy down. Ida takes a knock, but should be able to be rezzed back up again.
It's just now one player left on the back lines for DRX, really. There's nothing more doing. They know he's in the hills somewhere.
पीटी के 2 प्लेयर्स खत्म है.
He's on the hunt. He's scanning that horizon.
भाई ओजी भी गया 1 पॉइंट लेके भाई.
Situation for QXZ to find himself in. And right next to Thunder Talk 2, King is there rolling down, spots him, darts out the way. QXZ looks for the challenge, but it is going to be one out in the end by Thunder Talk. But up steps RA as he gets the knock back in response.
DX चिकन नहीं लेना चाहिए भाई. DX ने अगर मार दिया ना चिकन भाई तो इंडिया के लिए बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा टॉप 7 में आना.
If you told me that Thunder Talk would be in 3rd place at the end of yesterday, I don't think I would have, well, at the start of yesterday, I don't think I would have believed you at all. But I think that it is crazy how much of a good performance RA has been able to put up, as well as Kara. I mean, I had a lot of hopes for R8 coming into this tournament at the beginning, and it's really nice to see that they've been one of the few exceptional teams throughout every single day. Yes, Kara had like the most incredible performance on day 2, but R8 has just been steady, consistent through day 1, day 2, and day 3, and it is paying off now as they catch up to Kara and maybe even pass them in this game.
Ooh, shut down there coming through DX Xavier. Looking to keep things under control now. R8 with a massive elim total here. The full 14 that could potentially try and crash into the north side of this DX Xavier position. Only got 3 elims on that middle spot, so we'll see what they can do. Rack up some more. A good first pickup. Looking for more damage. They're able to do quite a lot on the approach. And the hop out from Paragin deals so much more. They've been able to shred through the health bars here, and Nate all too happy to receive them. Open arms to the elimination tally of DX Xavier, and this is how you make your bid for it. Arena trying to third party, but there's nothing to third party on anymore. There's nothing being done to DX Xavier on this hold. Lambor's isolated, sure, but with only 2 players on in the intro, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, an incredibly speedy cleanup coming from DX Xavier there. And this is massive news for DX Xavier, just on the cusp of getting in towards that top 7. This could be the game to overtake both Wolves and DRX and gaining a spot in towards those finals. Arena make their way up. For APG, for Refus, this is a case of a 2nd place for him, ideally. But even so, this is more reputation on the line as opposed to getting into the finals, I would say, for APG.
I think the arena may have jumped the gun on going in for this one. I mean, the circle out to the west side. It's not unlikely that it leaves the compound on the next one. With 3 players, they could have established a baseline across the road, played some of the divots, some of the ridge lines. They tried to commit for a third party, and now they're just going to be taken down one by one to these nades. DXAV have 12 nades on side blank.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think that for that comment about saying that E-Arena jumped the gun, I don't think they did. I think they went as fast as they could on this third party. The problem is the speed at which DXAV dealt with 4 players. That's where things go down. And Reefus will just take a tumble. I mean, he had to move out from the blue. And now it's DXAV 4-man versus 1. Technically, yes.
It might be the right play, but it's not going to happen either way. An immediate shutdown as DXAV close us out. I think they got up to 9 eliminations there, Blank. A 19-point game in such an important position. DXAV are going to be happy, but with 2 more matches left to play, it's still not over.
Takes the chicken out, bro.
Not just yet, but
point game in some.
That's DXAV 4. I mean, he had to move out from the blue. And now it's DXAV 4-man versus 1. Technically, yes.
It might be the right play, but it's not going to happen either way. An immediate shutdown as D19. They are really charging it up towards the top of those tables. Looks like they are going to have a good day and solidify themselves in. The DXAV win, though, couldn't come at a more crucial time.
Oh, bhai.
over to John Allen and Blake for some Miramar action.
Miramar bacha hai.
Hey, we all know bigger is better. So, of course, we're going from Arigel to Miramar, the bigger of the two. Not quite, it's got the same landmass as Rondo, but it's still plenty hefty to close down this tournament blank. The gauntlet is just around the corner from its finish line. We are going to be stretching our legs here into the desert from the south side, all the way up to Torrejomada on the plain path. Our teams need points, and they need them now.
Yeah, as the penultimate game.
Day 3, match 17.
Well, this is sort of the one that is make or break, right? This is the one where you either leave an opening for a team underneath you to strike out in the 6th game of the day, or you could close it all down right here and now.
Come on, OG, yaar. Chicken chahiye, yaar.
So this is a very, very
Chicken with 20 kills. Come on, guys.
To make sure that you get those points. There are several teams battling it out for that 7th place position now, and everyone wants a piece of it. North America, South Korea, Xavier looking to hold on strong. Let's see exactly who comes out on top in this game.
It is very, very fraught among several of our teams there. Keep an eye out for any hot drops, see if anything boils over. If anything's bubbling under the surface. It looks like we're going to be okay for now, but the plain path.
ये मैच पूरा एकदम शांत होके देखूंगा. मैं ना कुछ बोलूंगा ना कुछ. एकदम मौन व्रत. कुछ भी नहीं बोलूंगा. रिएक्शन दूंगा तो सिर्फ इंडिया पे दूंगा, किसी पे नहीं दूंगा.
Really hard shift on the circle here. Right on the boundaries as well of the map itself. You got this high ground that sits down towards that southeast side. Impala, like you say, a bit of a big feature there, but we'll wait and see if the circle heads over that way. Zone 2 is going to be the big one. Question is setting yourself up for success in this game. We get to take a look at the leaderboards right now with Ulf currently in 7th place, tied with DX. They are right on the line that we talked about earlier, John. So we have had a sudden uptick in certain teams looking towards the top side of the lobby. So that cutoff could be much higher than we initially expected.
I mean, yeah, we were talking about it being on average 113 across the regions. I thought it would be a bit lower. I felt like that might be the case, but I was wrong. I had 105 locked in as my guess, and it can only go up from there. In the next 2 matches, you expect it to be going up from there as well. It's difficult to say where it's going to fall, right? But if you're over 120, you're feeling safe now.
Exactly. I think Kara, Thundertalk, R8 in a really good position. Even Mad Bulls, I would say at this point, are really quite hopeful for their chances. It's sort of impossible to cut them out. Sort of being the operator there. But Wolves going to move on. And they certainly need to in 9th place. 96 points, just 2 points behind DRX, but a hefty amount of points behind Ulf and DX right now. Again, it is that inconsistency that's come back to bite Wolves as well as DRX, with both teams not really having massive gains, but being able to put up points here and there. And I think Ulf as well as DX have proved to us that they can get these big chicken dinners, have these strong matches underneath their belt. And that is the clear differentiator between all the teams in the top 7 and some of our teams underneath, is just all of those squads have had a massive game during the gauntlet.
Yeah, it's necessary to at least flex your muscles here. Even if you're keeping 1 or 2 things back, I mean, do you need to keep it going? It's unfortunate that Thundertalk weren't able to really put down a legacy going into the finals, with their performance in the first day repeated, or rather not repeated, in the next days. They were head and shoulders above everybody else, but they now have 2 peers right around them on those points tallies, and R8 at the top. It is a real good time to be a MENA fan. And R8 very happy to be there. Only 3 points ahead though, so it's not comfortable.
It's really not. I mean, you'd like to be a little bit further ahead than that come game 6. Alright, I haven't played too badly here on Miramar before. DRX themselves set up quite nicely early on towards the south side. to the west of Puerto Paraiso right now. There's a lot of options from this area in terms of rotates towards the high ground, even swinging back around to Los Leones if we end up heading there. It's a bit more tough getting towards that north side, towards Impala. Certainly doable with vehicles, but I think for DRX, this is a decent beginning of the match for them.
Looking at what they need as well, they do need all the help they can get in that 8th place spot. Wolves as well, making moves, but they're in Monte Nuevo, a long way away, a long road ahead as teams start to collapse. We're just under 3 minutes away from getting that next zone pop. We'll be seeing where on that southeast side we're going. Are we going to get a Los Leones finish to make things all the worse for the teams trying to crash into the top 7?
OG getting over towards the central position nice and early with this one. Circle does favor their drop spot here, which is lucky as well. They drop away from APG, not wanting to take a fight towards them this game, and it actually benefits them in a big way. Just towards the west of Impala, trying to get over towards that hillside. No one's really spotted them out yet either, so they are slowly but surely getting into a strong spot to set the rest of the game up for themselves. Thunder Talk even heading far down on the eastern coast, picking up Longhouse.
Yeah, playing with that overlook onto the islands out to the east side, Blank. We know what sort of chaos they can confer to the lobby. I mean, if it heads out there, Silas is going to be having flashbacks to the end of last year, to PMGC last time around. Denied by 1 point. He's going to be having a horrible time of it. But we'll see just how this one unfolds. It's so unlikely still that those East Islands are featured. They are right on the edge of this first circle. To get in the next circle requires 2 or 3 very dramatic shifts, which you just don't expect to be happening at this stage. They were a lot more central when it happened in PMGC last time.
Karo right now looking to reclaim that top spot, right? On that table with Thunder Talk as well as R8 pushing them back out again. I think that honestly, out of R8 and Thunder Talk, it is very impressive to see Kara in this position anyway, battling out for first place, considering the majority of their points came through from day 2. I think a result like that is going to be very hard to replicate throughout the entirety of PMGC.
Oh, whoa!
Okay.
Bird, bhai.
Dodged.
How did he dance out of the way of that one? Goodness me, it's not even... He does go down. Who clocks it? I don't think, unless I missaw that one on the Elim feed. Oh, it might have been, actually. He's the only person around, it seems. Yeah, so Poser, to be fair, yeah, he was going down there. He should have gone down a lot earlier, and maybe should have been flushed, but a little bit of a misspray there. Does mean that Kara have to go for a rescue mission, though. Set him as a trap.
I mean, Amir's moving up with a nade, and it's a really easy
Finish
in as well, considering no smokes on that one. It is funny that he dodged all the bullets, and then as soon as he gets into cover, he forgets there's a whole damn window.
सारी बुलेट
Which is unideal.
भाई इसके लिए बड़ा बुरा लग रहा है.
Shift over towards Los Leones. Goodness me. It's a good thing that OG didn't go too far down towards that eastern side, so that they can now try and get out. But it's Regnum Kai who does get the massive boon of where they were playing. 2 spots taken, a lot of information gathered, and now can quickly switch over to a much more comfortable position in the circle to play off. But with Los Leones being such a massive feature, I don't really want to get in there too early, but to be honest, a lot of teams don't have that much choice. It covers almost 50% of the circle here.
And Ulf as well on that northern side.
ठीक वैसे APG ले भाई Ragnarok गया, finish भी हो जाएगा.
Meanwhile, on the inside of town, it's getting a little bit rough in the streets here as Doc steps out down the alleyway. Ragnarok meets him, but will not stand the test. As Doc able to claim that point for APG. They still keep earning points, Blank. They're definitely not making it, right?
No, they're not making it,
right?
Again, it's like 2 20-point games at least, if not more.
Surely not.
So no, and on top of profit,
Oh भाई,
towards
why do we क्या? GS versus
in the background right
Need
now,
आ रहा है.
watching through, but doesn't have too many great sight lines through the warehouse versus GS. Might need to relocate down.
Nice, nice.
Nay's been flung backwards over towards GS. There is some doors that Aru can send shots through, but they are somewhat avoidable. All in a singular building. The GS.
Come on, guys. ये 4 points
right
चाहिए यार.
now.
Kill them all for our country, guys.
Exactly how OG wants
Kill them
to
all for your fans. Come on, yeah.
I mean, we saw Jafar whiff a spray earlier, so maybe they're not feeling so hot. And look at QXZ as well up on the high ground for DRX. Could potentially be a third party there. Spider-Man's playing in Los Leones. Oh no, hang on a minute.
Spider-Man.
I hope that's not Spider-Man, because that's looking real Spider-Man. Was it Spider-Man 2 where he loses his powers? It's like that.
Yeah. My boss makes a great point.
Spider-Man था क्या वो?
What? Hello?
He says that we did take into account we have Rondo, which does inflate point scoring. Which is why it hasn't really.
Fight down मत हो भाई यार, please यार.
After being seventh.
किसको down दे दिया भाई?
Who's
भाई आरू down हो गया यार. DRX.
Oh, yeah, no. The analysis I did was only with tournaments that used Rondo specifically.
भाई TT कहाँ से आ गए बीच
So
में?
it's still 113 average expected, and I was expecting lower than average.
Exactly, but again, it's like I think the variance from Rondo is the weird thing, isn't it? Is the
Yeah, that's true, but
yeah.
I
No,
mean, you can only do
think
so much.
I agree with your statistics, 100%. But it is on all of the maps, the statistics can paint a very clear picture. I think with Rondo, it's a little bit harder.
That is true. Although there is only 3 out of the 18 matches, so the impact it can have is at best, a 5%
It's quite
swing
a lot.
either way.
It is quite a lot.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure, that's about 5
Kara
points,
and
right?
Ulf. I mean, Kara and Ulf both getting 14 points off one match, and Wolves also getting similar points is quite unheard of. On
Oh
any
boy.
event.
Yeah, okay, fine. All right. Well, let's get stuck into
एक की भी टीम जाने वाली है मुझे
DRX
लगा.
and GK both are as well. APG, they still keep getting a point or two.
2v2 की fight है.
They're not making it,
They
John.
found they're definitely not making it blank. As GK aren't going to be able to find the first peak. They do a
एक
lot
down
of
डाल दिया.
He looks for it. He's going to be put to sleep there.
Shotgun है भाई, shotgun है.
They're not making it.
They're not going to make it blank. It's not happening.
They're not going to make it, okay? We're going to calm down right now because APG is definitely not getting in. All right?
It's not happening. Look,
they're not
ले.
even
Knock डाल दिया.
these nades.
giving us a little bit of a break there, a little bit of a breather. But Reefus and Doc still want more. They're still chewing.
आतंकी down है. Come on with.
G and GS, the fight is popping off. We saw this established before. It looks like Aru wasn't able to regroup and was taken down in the meantime. So it's only WizGod and AKOB on the inside as GS Sharks swarm around the outside.
Nice यार.
Able to find it for one. And the second as well looks good.
AK, come on AK.
Now into a 1v1. It's AKOP versus
Come on AK.
Maestro himself needs to come up big for the squad. 3 players to pick back up for GS, and AKOP's on the corner. He got some healing done with the auto shotty. Jafar's got one of his own, and he turns the corner onto the inside of the building. The vault, a classic for Jafar, and WizGod begging to be picked back up, but he doesn't have the time. AKOP.
Oh, nice यार. GG. Yes.
He sends it through, and OG stands strong. 2 players survive. How much further can they go?
Lovely bouncer on that one. And OG will get up at least one of their players here. Back up to 2, 85 points. Not bad at all.
Well done, guys.
Much better than what we've seen from the rest of the day. They are on the outside. We'll have to push in. But they could wrap down towards the south side of Los Leones here. Unfortunately, it's not likely to end up in Los Leones. But as a survival maneuver, it would be a way to get more points on the game. But again,
Oh, AK.
they need
AK.
a fairly strong fight here to get in towards top 7.
Goosebumps, guys. Goosebumps आ गए मुझे. वाह कसम भाई. Come on, guys. अब फटाफट जोन निकलो. फटाफट जोन निकलो अब.
2 players. That ability is severely diminished. Can't really go for too much now. I'm still waiting for Red Kai to start to pop off this match. In any match, really. It's just not come through yet. Walk on cam.
गाड़ी लेके वो निकल गया बे.
Towards Kara. Kara have already done the job. Share with the rest of the class. Then again, so have Thunder Talk.
भाई गाड़ी फोड़ देगा क्या?
One or two extra points, sure. Challenge for that top spot against R8. They sure as hell don't need them. Not like
Come on OG यार, come on यार. Zone touch करो, zone touch करो. बहुत बढ़िया है के भाई.
Kara crunching in on the east.
He's in के भाई.
Try and take control of the
Bye.
hill north of Los Leones. It looks like we're not heading into the city.
Wanna be you, wanna be
A
you.
little bit towards that north side, which is why it's never really advisable to sit in Los Leones center. We are heading over towards the silos on that northern edge. We have the valleys that cut through here. Fair bit of high ground still to work around. Open area towards the north. No one's really taken up that compound just yet either. And 11 Dita still being in play as well. We haven't really talked too much about that, but E Arena is currently playing in that position.
चलो जोन एंटर हो गए. सामने टीम है गाइस, सामने टीम है.
So the gatekeepers are in full effect.
They managed to sneak their way past the Regnum Karya blockade on the east side. They're now into
बॉल आ रही है.
ready to hit the dance floor. See if they can dance their way up the tables too. With 4 elims so far on the match, they need a little bit more. E-Arena on the north side, they're moving around the Labadita crater that is just in, but it's getting slowly pushed out, and the Mad Bulls sit just over that ridgeline. They're ready. They're waiting.
Yeah, Mad Bulls have a strong spot here, ready to hold out both Thunder Talk as well as E-Arena. E-Arena knows that as well. They have to expend utility to make this happen, but from what I can see from Joker, there's not a whole lot on them, in terms of smokes at least. The nades will be useful, but you got to get up to the building first. That's the difficulty.
Certainly will be tricky. Ooh, a knock over to DX Xavier out on the west side. Of course, Alpha 7 and DX Xavier pretty neck and neck here. Both looking to solidify their position. 5th and 6th on the tables. Paragen tries to step forwards, but Revo has the corner, has the shutdown as well. Carrillo needs to heal, so does Revo. And now the rest of DX Xavier.
क्या वो 1v2 निकाल पाएगा?
Nate on the upstairs.
Nice volley be.
Repositioning, and they are going to get overwhelmed if they don't do something soon. Brisao's cut off a little bit from Obscure, but they need to find more now, Blank.
That they do. And I mean, for the time being, this is looking very rough for DX Xavier. Lambor seems to just be sending away, which is the smart decision here, I think. I'm pretty sure for DX Xavier, they realize all is lost in the building. Get Lambor away, potentially get a couple more points, because that's all DX Xavier really needs.
Oh.
Couple more might do it. Nate goes down. Alpha 7 want to secure themselves that 110, and they push themselves over that boundary that we were talking about towards the start of the tournament. A 7th place still sits at 105. Thunder Talk now challenging Mad Bulls on the north side, as they have taken that fight to them, but they don't need to. With the circle popping down to the south, they could disengage.
Oh, nice connection बे. 2 नॉक डाल दिए उन्होंने. लास्ट 2 बचे, लास्ट 2 बचे. उनका भी एक डाउन है. क्या एक और डाउन होगा? नहीं नहीं नहीं. फिनिश डाल दिया उसको. और ये एजे भाई लिटरली 1 एचपी है. अरे ले लिया उसको, एजे को. वो नाइस. टीम चाइना एलिमिनेट हो जाएगी गाइस. गई टीम चाइना. मालूम था भाई. यहाँ पे 2 से 3 टीमें हैं भाई. मैड पे ये ने थर्ड पार्टी डाल दी है.
I think it's an situation where they're forced to go in the building far before they're ready for it. Karo continues to be a nuisance on the back end of this fight with some great shots and some. I think for the rotations from Karo's side, they are incredibly good.
Wanna be you, wanna be you.
Causing these big problems. I think the speed at which they rotate off into new angles.
Low. Our drop, Pluto.
Those angles is very, very good. M249 barking over towards the Mad Bulls right now. Flip last remaining inside the building is getting low very quickly as stage 5 will hurt.
ये भी गाएगा. मालूम था.
And immediately he's torn to pieces. Question is who got the
Mad flip, mad pusher.
was the one to snaffle that away. Nice stuff. And Kara take that first place spot back.
आराम से निकलो तुम दोनों.
But R8 still in the game and chilling over on the northeast side.
हाँ
OG
कुछ.
finding
ओ
to
ओ.
move and DRX has eyes
नेट
onto
बुक किया.
this.
नेट
Two
बुक किया
players,
उसने.
it's very unlikely, especially with
नेट
Regnum
बुक
Kai
किया
pulling
उसने.
away here on the high ground. Should have sightlines in. Attempts to get the nade into
गाड़ी
the
फट गई.
container. Wizgo's just going to hold out as long as he can.
I mean, hiding in these crates is probably one of the better options that they've got available to them at the moment.
बारिश ऊपर आ गई है भाई.
Down away from Regnum Kaya, who have been quiet so far.
एक के ऊपर देखना भाई. एक के ऊपर देखना. उनको स्पॉट कर लेना प्लीज.
They have had such a great position for so long. They have the high ground still under control, but they haven't been able to get any elims for it so far. Now's where they need to try and turn that one around. It is still the case that in a strong spot, sometimes you don't get these mid to early game elims. You're more focused on maintaining for the late game. But the question is that gamble worth it? Are you going to be able to convert, especially when Kara are marauding on the north?
I mean, from the spot they've had, they just really haven't had a chance to take shots at too many teams, and there's no reason for them to get too aggressive at this point in time. You are right, though, because they absolutely need to get a big game towards the end of the day here.
इस जोन निकलना है यार. जोन कैसे जाएंगे? गाड़ी भी अब फट गई है.
Highly unlikely, but for
ऊपर भी टीम, सामने भी टीम.
kind of banking on this late game where it's going to be quite open.
एक के ऊपर देख.
A lot of this space off this high ground.
भाई एक ही गाड़ी थी, वो भी फट गई है यार.
Now's when they do need to
कैसे जाएंगे अब?
try and turn that one around. A lot of strongholds already though established inside the circle. It's going to mean that it's a bit slim pickings, especially with this next circle where they have to move. Shots over to DRX. The Wild.
नेट बुक किया दोनों ने.
Run out. OG as well, cooking some nades to send over to DRX. You can't quite find the angle. APG on the north side as well.
निकल जाओ. Come on. नहीं.
Time and again into the vehicle. The smokes are there. Have they got the cover to make the dash? Wizgod is down. AKOP. There's no chance he's slowing. And he will survive, but for how much longer? Again, just having to tuck away in these corners.
नेट
The
पे
nades
नेट आ
pouring
रहा है.
from the wolves. That bounce could have been the end of him, but will be able to get this first aid off, you'd imagine.
Yeah, has some more meds to work with. Thinking Bomb won't quite take him down. We'll stim up, try to get back at the 100 HP as he can survive a nade that comes his way. Yeah, just start stepping their way in, trying to get in those placement points. Even so, at this point, it would take a miraculous game. Last match, I mean, for DXAV being a 105, there's a possibility it's 20 points, right? And a chicken dinner, and OG could pull that off.
Certainly is possible, but a fleeting possibility at best. The nades start to bombard out and take points away from the lobby, get away from teams that need them. Put them in R8's pocket, why not? Battle for the top of the tables rages on, and R8 do not want to let it slide. Kara denied access. They had it for a moment. R8 being nice on that front, but no, they'll take it back.
एक के पास बंदा.
39 now, neck and neck. R8 win that tiebreaker. DRX
बहुत बढ़िया यार. एक नंबर यार. एक नाइस.
Shuts him down. No dice on that push there. DRX only dribs and drabs and will be shut down.
Yeah, another point for AKOP here. Definitely been real clutch for OG. And no one's really looking to take any fight at him.
I'm looking at the points here, and all of those teams who are chasing the bubble are still alive. From 9th down to 14th. I mean, I say that with a lot of leeway given to the teams lower down.
फटेगा. फट जा.
They're all looking to chase.
सब जल्दी लड़के मरो यार.
Really bad news for DXAvia.
1 2 3.
Yeah, for DXAvia,
जोन जाना है यार.
I think for the Wolves here, though, there is a good chance for them to set themselves.
चलो एक ही है अभी. एक ही जोन में.
On par with DXAvia.
बट वो ले भाई उनके
This
पास.
final match.
प्लीज जोन बन जा. प्लीज जोन बन जा.
Regnum Kai
नहीं.
back at this one. Oh my god. If the circle hated these teams, this is one way to show it. Playing on
सारे बंदे इधर ही.
I think for Ulf actually do have a very strong spot to continue playing from, but they need to cause damage. And cause chaos and carnage around the map here.
R8 को डाउन करो.
Pushes through, but Regnum Kaya quick.
R8 का 2 डाउन है.
Downwards from the
REG भी एक नॉक है.
Oh, Joker lays down the law to Loxy.
जोकर क्या मार रहा है भाई?
Send him down.
249
Knock.
लेके
Regnum Kaya
क्या
do
घुस रहा है वो?
slow down a little bit. Regnum Kaya up to 3 elims now off in the distance.
टायर फोड़ रहा है. टायर फोड़ रहा है. पड़ी पड़ी इसको पड़ी. हेड गया. हेलमेट गया.
Really looking to solidify up in those top 7 up to 109 at this point.
Yeah, they're getting further into this one. Regnum Kaya, you know they just need points here. R8 repositions inside the building off the left-hand side, and still Wolves have done nothing.
नॉक डाल दे भाई.
AKOP unable to find these nades across, and AKOP is going to send one of his own. Whew, felt like it was close.
Felt like that was bouncing correctly. The zone though is pushing in blank.
वो बहुत लो एचपी हो गया है वो.
AKOP wants to spot the run out, maybe get a flush or two if he can. That would be a successful salvage. Regnum Kaya slam down the hill.
R8 की पूरी टीम बच गई भाई.
Into the meat grinder. That should be it. That should be them done and dusted. No chance really of them getting into 7th place on the next match. It's just too tall
Aye.
order.
AKOP gets 2 on the nade.
Okay.
एक नंबर एक क्या बात है? क्या बात है एक?
Did he take them out solo? I think he did.
It came up on the picture. I wasn't ready for it, but oh my goodness me.
भाई जोन.
AKOP now has catch to deal with. He's heard the chicanery.
नहीं नहीं नहीं.
And all for actually putting a lot of people.
वेल डन यार एक. वेल डन यार.
Starting, dashing.
वेल डन यार.
Points that we thought he'd get and laddering up another place 7 elims blank. That's gonna
कोई ना मेरे भाई. बहुत बढ़िया खेला भाई.
15 points behind the bubble right now. That is so doable.
Incredible stuff. I mean, and it just shows that OG can take fights.
एक
I just hope that
भाई तेरे लिए कोई शब्द ही नहीं मेरे भाई.
singular player and just having that nothing to lose mentality.
वन साइड खेल रहा है तू टीम से. वन साइड भाई.
KOP though over the top, and I think he hit an initial
GG bro.
which was crucial at delaying the guys on Wolves, and that does put Wolves in an awkward scenario now.
Yeah, it's going to be quite nasty down in 9th place there. God, that race is not getting any easier.
9 पॉइंट.
News for DXAU, who
90
are
पॉइंट हो
7th
गए.
place for one more map at least.
गाइस यार अपने को
Good go next time around. Everybody else
एक मैच 10 किल
solidification spots, and I think Alpha 7 and Ulf will have done enough to.
और एक चिकन चाहिए वे.
No one really going to be able to chase, and this one
समझ रहे हो?
grabs at this point going.
10 किल प्लस चिकन चाहिए.
The arena, some more shots, and Murray will go down as Ulf once again is just pumping points, and for Ulf this is the type of game that definitely just.
काश वहाँ पे गाड़ी होती
It's
यार.
gonna be very difficult to push them out from top 7. Alpha Gaming similarly wants some more points off the back of this one, leaving it just to DXavier being that wall guy.
More and more impossible as time goes on. Virtus Pro looking to try and take down Ulf though, and that might make it a little bit easier for the teams chasing if Ulf go down. But
वो रिप्ले देखना है भाई एक का.
surely
एक का रिप्ले नहीं दिखाया इन्होंने.
now the last to stand as they do get torn apart.
भाई R8 क्या खेल रहा है भाई. R8 क्या खेल रहा है भाई.
Points blank, they are starting to accelerate away from that top pack that's been neck and neck for quite a while, and Ulf go down.
6 किल अकेले ओपी ने किया भाई. 6 किल.
Alpha 7 looking to continue their ascent as well, closer to that 120 safety zone.
I mean, alright, they have gone from strength to strength in the past. I mean, I remember when this team felt like a bit of a footnote in some of the tournaments way back when.
मर गया ले.
They have just stayed persistent within the scene, and coming out now just swinging like this is truly incredible.
Heal first, Alpha 7 capitalizing. This should be an Alpha 7 chicken dinner.
Oh nice यार बेबी.
Here, the numbers advantage is there. Aragon able to do the rest of the damage necessary to take down R8. Maybe Virtus Pro could turn around now. Alpha 7 not fully in position yet, but they will establish as time goes on. Revo steps up.
Oh पीछे से थोड़ा बड़ा है.
Second with a DBS. No, not quite. But the turnaround for Carrillo is there, and they trade it off. Alpha 7 really want to stay in the top 7, and they will be able to do so. A chicken dinner in the penultimate match. That's how you lock your spot.
भाई बंदों का चौथा चिकन है भाई.
Master at work, gets gets a knock and then a massive amount of damage onto the next player as well. And for Alpha 7, that's going to secure them in. And you can see that it's the hunger from this team. It seems to be back. There's been some switch outs. Revo, Carrillo back at it again, but Guizao as well Obscure have been such great additions to this team. They're just fingers crossed they don't get kicked off this tournament, because come on, please, let's just keep a stable roster. One time Alpha 7, I beg.
Oh, maybe this will be the time that they're able to do it. But we are also looking at teams that have really fallen short of the mark. Alpha 7 found that resurgence, but a lot of teams that game needed a lot, and not many of them found it. It's good to see the squads getting locked in, and it is still a chase for that 7th place spot. But 6th looks like it's just out of reach at this point.
Absolutely does. I mean, for Alpha 7,
Last match
from them. But Ulf just barely missing it. Now they've got a little bit further to go on that last game. But VP, maybe they're chasing too.
Oh, the hype is real. Alpha 7 get the chicken dinner on that one. And with that game, guys, that is it. Alpha 7 have secured their spot into the grand finals. What a nice finish for this squad here, Max.
I'm going to do it for 7. Do Brazil! Let's go! We wanted to see that happen. Alpha 7 definitely reaching the expectations we had a lot more compared to PMWC, right? But here the circle, it kept shifting up northwest, and it was forcing a lot of the teams to just fight each other. And Alpha 7 playing with his circle, I would say here, Niptra, down to a T, just letting everyone fight each other and just like, okay, we still have 4 players alive. We're going to pick the final fight at the perfect time and wrap up that chicken dinner.
Elimination
Alpha 7, a lot closer to that win.
इतना तो अपने हारू ने मारा था. अरे एक ओपिनियन.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree, Neptura. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? They did make us a little bit worried there for a second, but they shut that down real quick.
Yeah, they sure did. It was really nice to see as well because, you know, going into Miramar, going into the Chaos rounds, right? Everything is possible. So really nice for them to just get that win out of the way, get those points on the board and go, hey, whatever happens next game's not our problem.
Well, you know what? The last game is going to be a serious problem here, guys, because one more is left to go right here. But before we get into those storylines, let's just go ahead and hype up this squad one more time, right? Rebel getting 3 eliminations. I'll tell you what, you know, I think a lot of people had a big question mark on their head, right, before this tournament, Max, man, because, you know, Mafioso, a legend, has been with the squad for so long. You got Guizao and Obscure on the squad, but I'll tell you what, this change has really been working out for them.
I really enjoy this change, but I think Guizao and Obscure have been doing a little bit too good. So wherever this game's like, I'm going to show them who's boss, okay? Who's the true Alpha 7 OG, and he performs a little bit better here, getting himself almost 650 damage, 3 eliminations to boot. So definitely is a really, really solid game coming out from the entirety of Alpha 7 and the IG Lingo of Carrillo. Again, understanding fully how to abuse this circle in their favor, because the death of a lot of teams in Ipsra, this match clearly was Los Leones. A lot of teams were forced into making that call to go through the city. And as we saw, a lot of teams did not make it out alive, or at least not as a full team.
No, they didn't. I mean, so many teams fell victim to that, right? APG had a really rough game. They were trying, but they got surrounded so easily. OG as well had to kind of limp into a building and do their best as a solo. And it was not the game that teams wanted, for sure. I mean, we did have a few outliers, of course. You did have Dick Xavier out on the western edge there, who were able to survive quite a long time into game, still racking up those points. You also had Ulf over onto the center side, up on a high ground. So a few teams were okay, but again, the zone does the thing that nobody likes, and nobody likes that day, right? And that's out crazy.
And It's so crazy. At first, I thought we were gonna get that Los Leones City finish. I was so excited, but then it goes, it heads up to the north. Alpha 7 had that western side position, and then they just closed it after that. But man, you know, a lot of things to talk about in this game. You know, one of them in particular, we saw OG, right? A little bit earlier, they end up getting 7 eliminations. I do want to give props to ACOP though on that beautiful nade though to finish out that squad. But man, yeah, that was beautifully done. They're definitely fighting their hearts out here. I will give it up to Team India for their first PMGC. For them to even be right in the position they're in on the leaderboards, you got to give it
Oh,
up to them,
bhai.
right, Max?
Definitely. Beat players on an individual basis. I would say every single one of them deserve to be here at PMGC. AKOP had some great plays, that nade, that clutch especially. I hope we're going to see in this replay. Actually, no, I think we did miss that replay. But he did clutch up versus Wolves, right? So very, very nice stuff coming out from AKOP. But I'm really curious, Hodrix, to see the leaderboards, how close it's going to be, because these teams, I'm telling you, they're going to be chasing it down here for the top 7 in the very last game of the
AKOP.
Looking back at these replays, the rotations, Alpha 7 dropping so far away, Nipture up, but we're going to see the circle keep shifting their way, and they just obliterate the lobby in the mid to late game stage.
Last game. Miramar.
More chance here to put the points on the tables when it matters most. That direct qualification spot is the goal of every single team in this lobby now. It looks all but set that 6 of those tickets have been booked. It is that 7th wild card entrant that is still up for grabs.
We'll have to wait and see until the end of this game. One slot being available does make this a rather exciting prospect for a few teams underneath, still chasing. Still a chance for OG as well. It will have to be a big game from them, though. Something very different to what we've seen from them in the past couple of games. But AKA OP, I mentioned he's feeling the high after that squad wipe over to Wolves solo. We have a fairly southern playing path. It's not terrible, though. Heads up towards truck stop. So still quite a few areas to pass on by to. Head towards that north side, grab some vehicles. Because it's not so leaning towards Puerto Paraíso, it means that there's way more vehicles available on the roads and less clashes likely to happen early on.
It has got to be nerve-wracking to drop in at risk, but Mad Bulls, I mean, they're on right now. They're one of the teams that's going to be feeling a lot more chill with it. The circle sends out to the east side again. Not quite as south-leaning and a lot less water in this one. Still going to feature La Zahar, Impala, open area to the west towards La Bandita as well.
Starting in Impala, which is not terrible for them. DX down towards Los Leones start. Just on the western side of it. This is the team that is in trouble in 7th place. With DRX and Wolves both knocking on the door here. 6 points behind, 7 points behind the Wolves and DRX. OG a little further with 15 points. And that's with profit onto whatever DXAV is able to make happen during this game. Ulf is currently safe, I would say, barring an incredible performance from both DRX and Wolves. And DXAV. So it'd take a lot. It would take a lot.
It definitely would. But that's what these teams here, every single one of them can deliver, right? Even towards the bottom, we saw Geeky deliver a chicken dinner during today's games. It is a set of championship teams, right? It is every single one of these teams has made it to the top of their respective regions, are the best in the business when it comes to PUBG Mobile. And that's what we're witnessing here. Those titans taking one another on. And it has been exciting. A treacherous road for many. As those 7 places loom over them. A big threat. Nobody clashing just yet. Mad Bulls on that north side near water treatment. Actually sending further away from the circle. They're going out to look up at Odia by the looks of things.
Yeah, picking up their original drop spot. May as well. I mean, later on, they can just re-rotate across Torre Armada, Campo Militar, pass back down once other teams have crossed. I think they realize at this stage
90 points
they're
there.
already quite far away from the center of the circle. May as well just take their time losing in an area that they're comfortable.
Guys, 110 points चाहिए थे.
And then
Sorry.
even a western rotate down El Pozo onto the
20 points.
could work. Pass through Los Leones. We've seen a lot of teams last game.
हमें 20 पॉइंट चाहिए गाइस टॉप 7 करने के लिए. अगर DX ने एक भी पॉइंट नहीं किया
Always a slow start here on
तो
Miramar. Ulf, I think, have done enough. I think they'd maybe 3 points here. I mean, getting in towards the top 3 would be cool, but catching up to Thundertalk, Kara, and R8 is very tough for every team here.
Yeah, it's really not the easiest of tasks. I mean, you heard Alpha 7, they want that 2nd place, maybe not 1st. It's good that they're tempering their expectations there on that one. To be able to chase that one down would be pretty monumental, especially for Alpha 7, given that they started their day not in the best of spots. I mean, they were still towards the top 7, but maybe not a top spot contender. And it is only one match to do it, and you've got to think it's just not going to be possible, really, to jump on up there. Kara, though, they might have a chance. They might have a shot at taking that top spot back from R8. Does need R8 to go down pretty quickly, though, and not get more than, say, 3 points on this game.
Yeah, pretty much if RA starts profiting, that's where it's difficult for Kara. But I think that it's one of those things that's a little bit more likely, considering we know how strong Kara can be in firefights. They're more than capable of putting up those elimination points, which is the thing that will tip them over the edge into first place. They're already quite central, but just sitting around Thunder Talk at the moment. Constantly clashing, these two teams are. Marceau able to do a huge amount of damage over towards Thunder Talk last game on a side swipe, which was pretty nasty.
I mean, we've seen some pretty brilliant things coming through from both of these rosters. Feels like CEO has been a name in our vocabulary for today, certainly more often than most of the others on Kara. He's been looking for it. Oh, Geeke, a little morsel, maybe. No, diversion. They're going to separate, extricate themselves. And actually, Thunder Talk folding back. I mean, that just shows what we were talking about before, those fundamentals. We're not going to get cut off. This could be a whole team rocking up, trying to go for a crash. They're not sure it's Geeke. They might have an inkling. You can never be sure. Oof. That is in the middle of nowhere, so it should be resible, but still. Kara now turn their attention over towards Geeke themselves, and Marceau sees the US just too late and immediately is flushed away. Kara lose a player.
Geeke getting up to a 60-point margin would be nice. Set themselves on par with 15th. You know, leave with their head held high. Not the worst of the bunch, or just the worst at the bottom of the table. And there's Ed going down. Should be able to get him picked back up again, though. Shot along the way. Like you said, good fundamentals from Thunder Talk, though. They see a team coming, they fall back, they know they have hard cover to work with, but they also know that Kara is on the other side here. So Geeke was essentially walking straight into a pincer. Which is very well done from Thunder Talk. Again, if they don't have to do the fighting, they won't.
Look to try and divert away, try and get extricated if they can. Geeke, they're up to 2 elims. Are we going to see another Geeke chicken dinner to close down the day when everybody else definitely needs it more? I mean, I don't know. It's too early to call, and they only have 2 elims so far. But they are at a pretty decent spot near Minas Generalis.
Would be nice. A cool way to finish out the day, at least. Kara, the dreams at first place are dashed. And it's only down to 2 players now, and dreams at second place might be looking rough as well, with only 3 points needed to tie even. Thunder Talk.
Evan moves forwards, sighting with a nade in response. Doesn't tag on, but does keep him inside the concrete. A little bit of a bold switch around there to go to the other side. Very exposed, that open wall, but looks for the challenge. Doesn't connect, really. And his teammates now moving up, using that covering fire to establish a little bit more of a
fight chal rahi hai.
Nades from Thunderbolt yet to really have an impact. We'll see if that can change. The healing needing to
Weak versus China hai.
goes very, very low. So does King as well. And
एक down डाल दिया. ले गया China यहाँ पे.
Now he steps in with a shotgun. We'll see if he can find any more as Nerzed wants to hold behind the corner here. I think he knows about it. Shots raining on through Ragnarok.
Revival चालू है. क्या revival हो पाएगा?
They want to play on the sport.
Sighting as that forward bulwark is basically shielding their path.
Wall का एक down.
DX targeting the team, directly chasing. Doran's already down. Paragin's
What?
on the sidelines, using the vehicle to get more of an approach on this one. Paragin looks to enter. Coops gets knocked out. North America's dreams are being dashed in front of our eyes.
Dastardly DX
Near को किया उसने.
on the hunt here. The wolves are the target. And now just Igor remains. A nade.
VP थर्ड पार्टी कर रही है क्या?
Pro might be bearing witness to them.
VP आ गई क्या?
They will put those nades in the building. You've got to
VP थर्ड पार्टी करेगी क्या?
be done and dusted for the wolves. With 4 players from DX Xavier, they'll know who they have on their doorstep. They'll know what is at stake here. They will confirm this. In they go. Lambor in.
उसको मॉल ही लग गई है भाई. एक नॉक तो डाला उसने.
To burn them away, and the wolves fall. They will not find their spot. NA's dreams burnt to a crisp.
DX now
Oh, nice.
one of a
अल्फा 7 ने भी थर्ड पार्टी मार दी.
Alpha 7 though, a great initial nade, swipes away the shield that has kept the Vanguard strong for Thunder Talk for so long, inciting. Revo around the side of a nade, sends it over the top, doesn't get too much damage done. The DBS in hand, we know what a monster this guy can be with it.
You got Kara, you got Alpha 7, you got Thunder Talk.
भाई कारा भी आ गई. भाई भसड़ मच रही है क्या?
Top spots, the podium beckons these.
वो अल्फा 7 खत्म. What the hell, man?
Will be denied. Fourth place, not locked in, but they will not be able to ascend towards the top, the more top spots. Let's go with that.
भाई कारा ने थर्ड पार्टी मार दी.
Change the tune of Thunder.
कारा ने थर्ड पार्टी मार दी.
Place back away from them.
King remains on top of the throne there versus Alpha 7. Not to be outdone whatsoever. The nades are starting to flow through. But
भाई पीछे आरेट भी आ गई है.
to finish off both the teams.
Whoa!
The one true king does appear here on our screens. It's R8 looking to finish things out in style.
No usurpers here. R8. Look at a reign supreme.
हाँ भाई ये भी आ गई है इसमें.
Between the top dogs of the lobby. The Mad Bulls may have an outside chance here to leapfrog quite far, but they are just to the north of this one, Blank. They're in the similar sort of area.
क्या ये यहाँ पे थर्ड पार्टी करेगी?
Maybe this is their time. Maybe they get a chance to jump up to that podium as well. It would be a real outside chance. I'm also looking at that west edge, Blank.
ये निकल गई भाई. ये दूर चली गई. वो भाई आरेट अमोरी भाई क्या बात है. ये भी डैमेज है.
Making mistakes. So APG's mistakes can be capitalized on. We'll have to see how it goes.
हील कर रहा है वो. हील कर रहा है. ओ फिनिश डाल दिया उसने. फिनिश डाल दिया. What? भाई एजी को किसी ने स्पॉट ही नहीं किया. आरेट का 1v2 है. ओ भाई आरेट भी खत्म भाई. चाइना ने यहाँ पे क्या मारा है भाई. भाई एजी स्पीचलेस हूँ भाई मैं.
7 additional points needed from a duo there. Not easy to achieve with Mad Bulls and E Arena waiting in the wings, but what a hold from Thunder Talk. You got to give it to him there. GS.
भाई चाइना ने क्या मारा है भाई.
Finding a lovely mini 14 shot over towards Kaikse. This is DRX who desperately wants those points to catch up, but it's 10 points now and starting to get away from them with DX in the lead on 7th.
And 109 points. I don't know who had that on the over-under. It can only go up from here, and DXavier on that southwest side. They do need to move actually, Blank, and they have to go through open ground. Could be interesting. Mad Bulls in and amongst the Thunder Talk players now. 3 teams are trying to
फिर से थर्ड पार्टी हो गई इन पे. ना ना अब एजे गया.
Maybe he moves forwards, maybe he looks for the flush, steps in through the door frame. On the outside, the garage.
Oh, भाई.
Pusher, nade around the corner, and that will be the end of Thunder Talk's run.
भाई इन पे.
Lock it in. As Kara now maybe soon for it too, but the nades from the arena trying to take down these top 5 spots. Mad Bull's not out of danger.
It's been an incredible amount of firepower.
भाई ये ने भी पुश डाल दिया है एक ही जगह पे. मां कसम. वो भाई ये क्या ये निकाल पाएगा. क्या ये निकाल पाएगा.
Hold on strong to his position. Sakura gets up on high. Joker takes an outside position. Good high air burst on that nade though.
Does about half HP damage. They're going to have to leave the concretes now. No more fighting in them in about a minute or so because they have to get a push south. Look at the hold currently for OG. DXavier sent
फटेंगे.
so many teams committed to this.
अरे नहीं फटा.
It has allowed DXavier
मैट तुलाका. भाई तुलिका को मैं तुलाका ही बुलाता हूँ. क्या ये हेल्थ किट लगा पाएगा. अरे उसके हाथ में नेड है. लेना घुस के. ना ये ओ नाइस नेड यार मैट.
Nice nade from Flip. Pushes out wide. Will take down Saka and a good amount of damage over towards Tony K.
पूरा डालेगा. अब वो पुश डाल देंगे.
Quite make it past the wall though.
क्या कर रहा है?
On the corner, turns it and will be able to find the shot. The shot down to the rooftop as well. Lemon is on the
ओ भाई.
and it is going to be Arena getting shut out of this one. No way did Lemon make that dash. He is unscathed as well on the outskirts there. But the blue zone, it pushes. They need to move fast and they need to make a decision quickly.
A truly bitter
Hey, madam.
end there for E-Arena. A 1v4. Didn't want to wait for the rest of the team to tie their shoelaces. He just got on with it. The Xavier holding this position. It's not a bad spot at all. Playing the ditch. It's slightly nadeable, but there's only really one player off in the distance there, and it is Kara Lewis, who is a solo. The Mad Bulls will be happy with that. What a way to finish things.
भाई यहाँ भी भसड़ मची है. ओ.
APG moving in towards Verts Pro.
VP versus APG.
Malloy to get some retribution. Top goes down, has to crawl around the corner. Milky Way.
Nah.
Around the corner, spots the run out, but he's
Oh.
doesn't know who to aim for there. And now it's up to Malloy. He's good for it though. He's found two.
Nah.
On the nade to his start
APG.
off. But no, just at the final turn, Reefus stays alive, but in comes a player from OG.
ओ आरजी ने यहाँ पे थर्ड पार्टी डाल दी. वाह कस्टम.
They're looking to tear this one apart, and they do it successfully. I mean, they didn't even really need to. I think that one was taken away by OG. APG are eliminated. They will be locked in down at 12th. What more can Regnum Kaya do? They made a huge commit going out there.
चल 2 पॉइंट मिल गए इनको. टॉप 8 में. क्या 2 किल्स निकाले क्या किसने? आरओ और विस्गॉट बहुत बढ़िया यार.
We're down to 8 teams now. OG looking to finish out the tournament strong. 92 points in 10th place. Regnum Kaya chasing that position.
9th place, I think, is now out of reach for Regnum Kaya. Mathematically, with 22 points that they could earn on Elims, they would get a 32-point game. Oh, no, it isn't. It's just within reach. They would squeak through by the skin of their teeth. They could get up to 113, I believe, maximum, which is really quite saying something. That relies on them getting every single remaining Elim in the lobby, though.
DX ने 4 पॉइंट निकाले भाई.
4 more Elims get out of the way.
मौली में मौली लग नहीं रही क्या उसको?
In the meantime, we'll refocus to the teams chasing DRX.
खत्म मौली से ही खत्म.
And put themselves over the top, but DX Xavier holding in their divot for so long. The Mad Bulls probably going to look to try and take them out of it.
OG been able to hold like 2 of the most profitable compounds this entire match is quite amusing. No one's really taken too many shots yet. They had a look in over towards Regnum Kaya's position, but were quickly backed off as the rest of the team
Hashtag fix है.
as a duo. A smart choice to make. Mad Bulls now up against DX Xavier, looking to profit more and hold on to this 7th place. They're already in placement point territory as well, so the DX Xavier, they realistically need 5
GT ने 11
game. Nate starts out strong with a good spray down over towards Pusher in the background.
Yes, pretty one that confirmed as well. Remember, the placement points have started to kick in as well, which means the DX Xavier, I think they're guaranteed 2 placement points right now at least. So their score is in effect 112. It's going to make things all the harder for teams to catch up. If they can confirm that point, but no, I don't think they're going to be able to. That res looks like it's coming through for the Mad Bulls. Flip up on high, eats the air burst, but the off angle is good. Oh wait, that came from Flip. The knock over onto Lambo. He's going for the sprays. He's still peeking them.
Very nice. These air bursts just aren't quite reaching. You can see the intention coming through from DX Xavier. They'd rather reset this one though, disengage, get Lambo back up on his feet before they go again. They understand that Mad Bulls need to push in, but Tunica takes this moment whilst that res is going through to push up towards the wall side.
Nate hops around. They can't quite find it. Can't really move away from the wall on either front, and they have to just go for these bunny hop shots. All the while, it's actually Regnum Kaya who are rolling on.
भाई मैड्स यार एकदम मैड हो गए बे.
For DX Xavier, they're trying to draw their opponent short, and now DX Xavier down to 2. Just Nate on the inside and Levi's on the out.
DX का लास्ट बंदा बचा है.
If they go down here, I think they're going to lock it in at 112.
मारो मारो DX को मारो मारो DX को मारो. बहुत बढ़िया.
Nate down. Levi's still up, but like you say, this is not looking good now for DXAV with the chase being on, with DRX down towards the southwest side on 4 players.
DRX भी जानी चाहिए भाई. OG DRX को मार डालो यार.
Really stepped up too much to the plate so far for DRX with 0 eliminations. Waiting on this next shift, and OG has quite a lot of ground to play around with, so they win basically every single northwest shift in terms of having a strong position.
All these teams chasing want DXavier to go down next. Placement points do add up, Blank, and it will be that little shift, those 1-point differences that really make the difference here. As on 112, it's catchable. On 113, that's a different story. I'm thinking specifically about OG here, though. They haven't chimed in so far. I think the Mad Bulls
DX को खत्म होना पड़ेगा भाई.
over the ridgeline, a nade, a shot, anything. So they need
Come
to
on यार.
Kaya suppressing this ridgeline.
कम से कम 10 kills तो निकालो यार.
Just around the corner too.
We'll see where it pops.
Zone आजा, zone आजा, zone आजा, zone
There's
आजा.
a lot of space on the map. Basically, a south
Nice, yeah.
shift that's going to cause problems for them. That does cut out 2 compounds for them, but they have anchors. It's
There it is.
playable. Map Bulls will find Levi's.
5 ही टीम बची है.
And that
Now
draws
we're cutting it out
rubble.
at 112.
That boundary is so within reach for DRX, even for OG as well. But DRX are on the outside. They have a much tougher time moving through the open ground before them. There's really not a good option.
आतंकी तू ऊँट पे कहाँ बैठ के जा रहा है?
Hold for OG though. Will they be able to make a miracle happen?
The problem is that there's not a lot of angles that are looking over towards OG. And I think for quite a few teams, they're still going to just get a pretty free approach from this north side. So decent endgame.
Wanna be you, wanna be you.
Play next. Faru scouting out off in the distance. No sight lines over towards him. DRX are going to make the push over this way though.
Come on guys, come on, come on. नहीं यारो.
He hits the deck, going down, and he will get knocked.
AK, nice यार AK. Come on AK. आतंकी.
It's done a lot of damage, but that's not enough. A nade over the top from a tanky. As where is the third parties? I'm watching, I'm waiting for it. But Kaya holds strong. They back it off, and now OG spotted. Oh no, Zedwolf finds the shutdown, and OG's dreams are dying on this hilltop. They will not be able to make it off successfully, not unscathed anyway, as Woodgod tries to send down in the party bus. One player now standing for OG and DRX, looking to try and take that 7th place with the points added to their tally, but they only got 2 for this push, as AKOP, the last to fade, and they will be out, done and dusted. DRX now with it all to do.
OG disappearing in front of our eyes there versus DRX. Even the P90 not able to save them. DRX, 3 teams remaining. This is a big moment for South Korea. They instantaneously split across the field, looking to take up all the positions that OG left behind.
This is a real bittersweet potential victory here for Regnum Kai if they can find it. It won't be enough. They don't have the points margins. The difference is just don't sit there. No more elimination points they can get.
कोई बात नहीं guys.
Put them over that 7th place as it sits.
Well played यार. बहुत बढ़िया खेला.
Need 10 more points. Just getting the chicken dinner would be enough.
क्या हुआ चिकन नहीं आया तो?
Gets them one step closer. A knock, a nade, and Mad Bulls.
अपनी तरफ से बहुत प्यारा खेला भाई तुमने. बहुत प्यारा. और AK और आरू भाई तुमने ना दिल जीत लिया यार.
DRX have a fair bit of utilities to work with. 15 nades in the hands of Regnum Kaya is a pretty mighty backpack on their side. No, Mad Bulls down to just
अब स्ट्रीम एंड करने जा रहा हूँ भाई. तो ज़्यादा चिकन देखूंगा.
between the south and the north here.
चलो कोई ना भाई. चिकन नहीं आया तो क्या हुआ?
Would support them.
AK का 1v6 तो देखने को मिला. चलो गाइस मिलते हैं. Wanna be you.
They're playing this like they play their river split, playing off one another. and the angles finally starting to come together for them.
3 टीमें रह गई है, देख लेता हूँ ये भी पूरा मैच.
But they might be able to ruin DRX's approach.
DRX were on 103. They needed 112 plus to take this game. Not only that, they wouldn't win the tiebreaker, I don't believe. They need 113 on this game, which is the chicken dinner, essentially.
REG भी.
I think at the moment, I think DRX do win the tiebreaker actually against DX Xavier. They have more placement points. Oh no, it's the other way around. I was looking at the wrong column. You're right. They need to go clear, and they're on 102 right now, blank. So they need 11 more points. 1 elim in the chicken dinner. That's what they need to find. They can stay out of it until 10.
So they could do it. Technically, no, they can't. They actually can't even do it if they get second place.
They'd win it on a chicken dinner because the tiebreaker would be 1 because they get 2 chicken dinners rather than 1.
Yeah, but if they got the chicken dinner, they'd be over the cap anyway.
No, if they went down and everybody else denied the points, for instance, they would get 10 points flat, and they would be on a tiebreaker. But that's we're getting into some real hypothetical ground here for DRX.
मैच के बाद इस बार मैन सपोर्ट ज्यादा नहीं है. 2 बंदे बचे हैं और DRX और REG के पास मैन सपोर्ट ज्यादा है. मैट को REG वालों को लेना चाहिए. तो REG वाले चले गए भाई. घुस गए भाई.
Tunica will move with the blue. Good movements there coming through from them. Silas got a little bit of a shot in, but it's not quite good enough. They want to clear out this angle on the side so they can start to focus over towards DRX. But that's a big nade. Zedwolf has to immediately send a cross, but it looks like he's just going to regroup with the rest of the team.
DRX भाई, DRX ने पुश डाल दिया है. DRX ने पुश डाल दिया है. What the hell?
In their mouth, but Kaise stays alive. Regnum Kaya, they're getting shut down. Wild now, the player underneath the bridge needs to stay alive, and Mad Bulls have a shot to take it all away from them. They still have a player out in the open, and with 2, they can make it work, but Wild's still going. He's still trucking. The healing went through, and Kaise falls. 1 player now for DRX to stay alive.
1 player versus the
DRX का एक बंदा रह गया है. मैड चला गया भाई. DRX भी खत्म है क्या? REG चिकन ले गया भाई.
Just about there, DX Xavier able to fend it off, not by their own merit, but by the grace of Regnum Kaya, who themselves will feel very disappointed. You can see that they aren't happy, even with a chicken dinner, because they know they haven't done enough to get to the finals. Don't worry, all the teams
ज़्यादा जल्दी कर दिए भाई.
will be seen again in the group stages. But you can see it's even harder on DRX. They knew they had it within their grasp. They saw DX Xavier go down early, but they just couldn't get all that way. Those extra placement points that DX Xavier got for getting across that open ground, that cacophony on the northern side from our top-placed podium teams allowed them to stay alive for just long enough to solidify themselves on 112 points.
Down to that 1v1 as well. I have no idea how Zedwolf got that mini 14 shot off. It looked like UXE was fully covered as well. But into that 1v1. What an insane finish from DRX and Regnum Kaya, who will be battling again in those group stages.
Oh, and you can bet there's going to be grudge matches coming on through. I can't wait to see it. But for now, let's head to the analyst desk to break down the 7.
Oh भाई. चलो गाइस, मिलते हैं अब. कल देखते हैं.